guys, I'm here with another tech tip, and this one kind of dives into something that has many steps, but I don't want you to be afraid of it. It is totally manageable. It just looks kind of confusing. So today I'm going to talk about how to do mail merges. So to do mail merges, I'm actually using three different things. I use Google Sheets. And then you can put it into a doc or a slideshow. And in this case, I'm going to do slides, and I'll explain why in a minute. And the last part is you need to download this extension called Autocrat. And so Autocrat is an extension that lets you easily do mail merges. It's not the only one. I'm sure you can find other ones, but this is the one that I know how to use. So this is the one I'm going to show you, okay? Or the one that I've used. So first step in Autocrat is to have your data. In this case, I just have some mock addresses. I'm just going to address an envelope, okay? I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So once you have Autocrat installed, you go to extensions and it comes up here, and you can see I have some other extensions too. And you can click open, and it comes up with this pop-up that starts trying to set up your data for you, okay? So I'm actually going to do a new job, and I'm going to call this mailing and hit next. And I could choose one of my templates, or I can create new, okay? So what I'm going to do up here is I'm actually going to take this presentation and save it as mailing so that it will be available to me. I forgot to put a name on it. So I'm going to click from Drive, and I'm going to choose mailing. So I selected that as my template. It tries to fetch tags, but because I haven't put in any tags, it doesn't have any, right? So I have all of these tags. So one of the ways that you can do this, if you are not quite sure how to do the tags, is you can get to this step, and then if you come here, you click, it copies that tag for you. So if I do Control V, it's going to put that tag in for me, okay? Now you can also, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this. You can also just type it in, because all you need for a tag is your carrots and first and carrots. Now, one thing you cannot do, you can't come up here, and you would think that you would just be able to come to this spreadsheet and copy and paste. If you copy and paste those field rows in, it won't recognize them. You have to either type them here or use the copy and paste feature within it, okay? But an address is pretty standard, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my address tags, city. And notice I'm putting all the spaces in exactly the way they need to be, so that when it comes out, it has the correct spaces between them. And I have found that actually for most of our school mailings, I don't actually have to put state. It seems like everyone's from Ohio, so I can do that. Now, one other thing is I didn't show you how to resize this. So the reason why I like to do this in Google Slides is because it's really easy to change the page size in Google Slides. So you go to File, you go to Page Setup, and it's automatically on widescreen, but it's very easy to go to Custom. And for your standard business envelope, it's going to be 9.25 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to click Apply. Now, it made it landscape. I always mess that up. Okay, so now it's the right size. One thing that I do like to do is I kind of put this box, and I kind of like to center it, okay? And you can totally just type the return address here, or if you had a different return address for everyone, you could include that in your mail merge, right? So I can even, insert bring in one of the logos. So I can even insert my Frederick Douglass High School logo, make it a little smaller, and put the school address in there, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go back here, and I'm actually going to be extremely lazy and go back and hit next. Oh, it still didn't detect it. Okay, let me press save. Mailing. Save. Okay, and then notice here now it's telling me I have tags. So I can come back and edit. And you can just set your document up right to begin with, but I wanted to show you how when you get to there, it looks, okay? So first, last, it got, address is going to be address 1, city is city, state, zip, okay? I'm not going to use address 2. This is mock data anyway, okay? So now all these fields are mapped. You have to make sure every single one of these has a thing. If not, you're going to have a little, it really looks like a tag up here, which is telling you that you have tags that are not mapped. So I'm going to hit next. And actually, I don't just want it to be mailing. I want it to actually have the date on it so that you have the day. Now, it's going to output as Google Slides, and that's fine. You can also have it output as PDF, just so you know. If you were doing some other form, that might be very useful to you. And you can do multiple, which means that each file is going to be a separate page. And if I were doing that, I would probably include the last name or maybe last and first name in the file name. So each file would be named separately for a student. But I'm going to do single output mode because I actually just want to print a bunch of envelopes, right? So I'm going to hit next. I'm not going to use my drive as a location. I am going to use a folder called envelopes. Select. And then I'm going to hit next. And it asks you for all kinds of conditions and things you can set up. And you can play around with this stuff once you get into it. Next. I don't have jobs triggers, so I'm going to press save. Okay. And sometimes it does take a few minutes to save. And I want to go here so I can show you something. It won't let me resize it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and run this job. So I'm going to hit mailing. It's going to run the job mail merge. And sometimes it takes a little while. It sort of depends on how many rows you have and how much data you have, but it's running. And notice that in your document, it actually adds columns and adds some data, okay? So when this is finished, you're gonna have a link to your merged document. So if you did a separate document for each student, this could be a really easy way to do like a grade report. You can do a separate document for each student. It would come up with that document linked in the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and now I have the URL. I also have the link, though the same thing. I don't know why they're both there. I'm going to go ahead and click, and now I have my envelopes. And I can go ahead and print these to my printer. Now every printer is different, so it does take some trial and error to get your envelopes right printing on the printer, but this will get your mail merge set up, and you can do this with letters, you could do this with certificates, so many different uses. You could make it so that it does a printout of how many purpose points a student has if you have that data in a spreadsheet somewhere, right? Anyway, I hope that this is helpful to you. I know that it's a little bit of a deep dive for what I usually do for a tech tip, and I did it very quickly. If you'd like more on Autocrat, just let me know. I'm here for you. Anything you need. Have a great Thanksgiving. Bye.